What's up, guys? Go back to our video, and we finally got the long-awaited Thor Love and Thunder trailer that we waiting for so long for. And here we got our very first trailer for the movie. It looks absolutely epic and like amazing. And we got some colors and cinematography, and plus so much reveal here. Even though we didn't like get revealed so much, even though this was called the teaser trailer, and we got those so much, including the Ravage Thor, the Guardians of the Galaxy, and the reveal of Mighty Thor, who's gonna be Jane Foster in this film, and so much more, including for Zeus, and like what's happening with Thor after the events of Avengers Endgame. Plus in this trailer that there were a bunch of Easter eggs and cool things in the trailer as well. So in this video, this will be my full breakdown of the full Thor Love and Thunder trailer. We'll go over Easter eggs and things that they may have missed, and how this could connect to the future of the MCU, especially for Thor, and plus for the future of the MCU as well. But if you're new and you enjoy something like this, be sure to subscribe and click that notification bell so you don't miss out on videos like this in the future. So let's get into it. So the trailer opens with Thor running through the woods, and as he's running through the woods, we see him like transition from like suit to the suit from various Thor suits. That like we see that like with the suit that he transitions to is the one from the comics and from the first Thor movie as well. And then we see him transition into another suit. This is probably the suit is the same hairstyle, probably from the first Avengers film when he fought with the Avengers in the Battle of New York. And then we see Thor here, and like we hear this dialogue from Thor. It says like his hands were once used for battle, and now they're used for peace. He has to figure out who he is, because what he says like hands that were used in battle is talking about the times that he fought with the Avengers, including from Avengers Infinity War and Avengers Endgame, from what he was of Fat Thor. And then we see the sun here, and it kind of reminds us of like the Loki quote that says the Thor, the sun will shine us again one day, brother. And plus within this, he still have this will kind of like remind them of like memories of Loki, because spoilers, I haven't seen Avengers Infinity War, because I think because Loki died and of Avengers Infinity War, with the sun, it's reminding Thor of Loki. And then as we see the Marvel Studios in intro playing, is that like we hear this is sort of like a rock 80s song, kind of like from like the 80s. And plus, I mean, when this trailer, it's all like 80s or like kind of like fun and like kind of like epic film. And then we see Thor. It's kind of like a fat Thor as he's trying to be getting in shape, but probably because in the events of Avengers Endgame he was a fat Thor, and then in this he's trying to get in shape. So like he can like finally though retired, like even though he's getting back in shape, he's going to retire from being a superhero. And now, as we can see, is Thor trying to get into better shape, as well as all like a training montage after he's trying to get back in shape after Fat Thor from Avengers Endgame. As we can see on Thor's hat, it says "strongest of Avenger," and with the term "strongest of Avenger," it's like a little Easter egg or like a callback from Thor Ragnarok. As Thor is trying to unlock the password on the ship with the word "strongest of Avenger," which is like a nice little callback from Thor Ragnarok. And as we see Thor getting into better shape after the events of Avengers Endgame, when he was Fat Thor. And plus, when there's a plot synopsis for Thor Love and Thunder that was officially released by Marvel, it says it follows Thor on like a quest for like inner peace, but then his retirement is like interrupted by Gore, the god, which is the extinction of the god, and he seeks the help of everyone, including for King Valkyrie, and for Mighty Thor, who wields the Mjolnir. Plus, with authority getting into better shape, he's going to have some help with the Gore, who's not in this trailer, but I think he'll be safe for the next one. The next we get is Ravager Thor, and with Guardians of the Galaxy, especially for Peter Quill and the rest of the gang as well. And this is probably be the Thor in like at his moment, and this is probably that fighting in like a battle or something like that. And then we see Thor like but in his full suit, and then we see Stormbreaker like it was introduced in Infinity War and Endgame as well. And then with this as the Guardians of the Galaxy are like joining in the battle, we can see like Thor just kind of like leaving them while they're fighting. And then we see the Guardians of the Galaxy leaving Thor and Korg as they're going back to their planet. It's because with the Guardians of the Galaxy, they are joining Thor and Thor Love and Thunder. Plus, we're seeing, though at least said 2 more times, but before Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3, plus including that holiday special as well. And then we hear dialogue from Thor saying that his superheroing days are over. It's because we've seen that Thor thought that the entire MCU, plus from the first Thor movie, and what he fought with the Avengers, including from like Infinity War and like Avengers Endgame, from when it was that fat Thor. And now when I'm saying that his superhero days are over, that means Thor is really retiring from being, you know, the superhero that everyone loves, which is Thor. And then we get a very first look at the Gobo. This is one from the comics, and then we see the Gobo Ryan is through. It is called Olympus, and which is like the home of the Greek god Zeus. And now Olympus is one of the god realms. It's a dimension. It's a pocket like a dimension like adjacent to Earth. And then we see a door on like the Gobo, and then some girls swings in, and then they kiss because we don't know who this is, but like. Why not? Plus, we see Thor kissing a girl on the Gobo, and then we got a very first look at Zeus, who's going to be played by Russell Crowe, and now Zeus was one of the Greek gods on the home of Olympus. And then in the next show, we get a very first look at the suit that Thor is going to be wearing in this movie. It's one from the comic, so it's going to be a comic accurate suit. And then we get it's an awesome and a glorious shot of the mountain and like the creature that is in there. This is one from the comics. With this creature, it's named Falcor, the Baron Moth. It's one of the gods of the galactic from Frontier. And then we see here in the shot, but like we see Korg and Thor there as well. But like in the comics, it's just like Thor on top of the mountain, but we see like the Korg and Thor on top of the mountain. And then we see is a new Asgard. We were introduced to this location, the new version of Asgard in Avengers Endgame, and now we see like a whole group of people sitting at a table, and then we see is a Valkyrie, and she's now handed the new king of Asgard. But also spoilers, I haven't seen like the ending of Avengers Endgame, or we saw like Thor handing of Valkyrie as a new king of Asgard, and then we see Valkyrie in a suit and everything. And then as we can see, as Valkyrie is now the king of New Asgard, which is like King Valkyrie, we see Valkyrie in a room full of us, surrounded by political leaders around the new Asgard conference room. And plus, what is this? This is exactly Easter egg and reference from the opening scene from Spider-Man No Way Home. This is like a political turmoil in New Asgard. And plus, it is reference here in this movie with the king of Valkyrie talking to a bunch of political leaders. And then we also see more of parts of like Olympus, and then we see more like Rhodes, and then more of like a statue with like a lightning bolt in his hands, as what Zeus carries. It is also what happens in mythology as well, and it is called Olympus. And then we see the guards of the Galaxy on the ship, and then we see Peter Quill looking into the eyes of the guards of the Galaxy, but in a very funny moment, we see Thor look into his eyes, which ends up in a pretty funny moment. And plus, with this duel, I mean, I can't wait to see this duel in action in this movie. And then the trailer ends with a very first look at the Mighty Thor, who's going to be Jane Foster. And now, what is Mighty Thor? I don't know if it's going to be replacing the actual Thor. And plus, maybe what is we're actually introduced to Jane, to Mighty Thor, was going to be female Thor, who is going to be Jane Foster. As we see, Mighty Thor wielding Mjolnir, and with this version of Mjolnir, it was destroyed by Hela and Thor Ragnarok, and with Thor wielding Mjolnir, and we see Thor and Jane looking at each other as if they are reunited on Earth to fight in battle, because they're about to be in battle with Thor, the God Butcher. And plus, we saw Jade and Thor like broken up, and Thor the Dark World, and with Jane should show up to that party, and the Avengers Ultron should show up. With this could be a reunion between Thor and Jane Foster. And yeah, with this first Thor Love and Thunder trailer, I mean, I just love this trailer. I can't wait to see this movie on July 8th. And plus, the one thing that we did not get revealed though in this teaser is our very first look at Gore the God Butcher is going to be played by Christian Bale. I think they'll say that for like the next long trailer, the long official trailer, I believe. But yeah, so we got some like reveals, not like too much reveal. We got the Guardians of the Galaxy, like a Mighty Thor or like female Thor was Jane Foster, Roger Thor. And like other things in the trailer as well, including the King Valkyrie, the Gobo, and like Olympus, and also Zeus, and plus and like so much more. And yeah, I just can't wait for Thor Love and Thunder on July 8th, and this trailer looks so awesome and awesome and so good, and I can't wait to experience Thor Love and Thunder on July 8th. So that's gonna be it for this video. Let me know thoughts in the comments down below. And what are your thoughts on his first Thor Love and Thunder trailer? And what are your thoughts on his breakdown? And are there any Easter eggs or things that I may have missed in the trailer that you noticed? Let me know in the comments down below. Don't forget to give this video a like and subscribe to our notification bell for future videos. And you can follow me on Instagram and Twitter for live updates. And with that, I'll see you guys in the next video. Peace.